So basically, what I was thinking of was, oh fuck, I can't believe you've done this.
I hope Collider don't copyright strike this video because, you know, it's under fair use. And if they do copyright strike, well, we'll just talk about it even more. But what happened was, someone sent me a message in the YouTube comments. They said, are you going to talk about what Kristian Harloff said? I was like, I don't watch their channel. What are they saying? Send me a link. So I get the link. I go over to Collider videos, have a look at the podcast. I was like, wow, this is actually quite funny. And so I downloaded the video. Didn't really kind of edit that much out. It was basically, I had to put the video on Twitter, so it was like 2 minutes 19 seconds. So I had to shorten it and speed it up a bit. It's actually all the context that you need of what he said about how Disney didn't invite him or the Jedi Council podcast people to the Star Wars Galaxy Edge theme park opening. And instead, they got two of the other women from Collider. Now I've got the video here, so we're gonna watch it together. So this is a reaction video, guys. It's not copyright, it's a reaction video. Actually, before we do that, let's check out this clip that I've used previously in other videos.
Yeah, let's take a peek behind the curtain in our business. And sometimes you get invited to these screenings and you get encouraged or, you know, asked to maybe have a more positive look on things. They don't try to influence you to go one way or the other, but they'd like you to. So maybe...
Because it's relevant to what we're going to discuss in the rest of this video. Anyway, let's see what Kristian Harloff had to say.
I'm going to address this once and then be done with it. So on Frosty, Heidi, and Frank this morning, and we laughed because... They said they're giving away tickets to Disneyland and Galaxy's Edge. And today I walked in and Roka's like, "Oh, here we're going to talk about Jedi Council. Do you want to leave with this or Galaxy's Edge?" I go, "We're not talking about Galaxy's Edge. Yeah. Not talking about it." I go, "You know what I'm going to talk about Galaxy's Edge in 2 years when I go."
Yeah.
Because am I a little butthurt? No, I'm a lot butthurt.
Yeah.
Business sense, to where. Arguably, the Star Wars show itself is the show because that is the Lucasfilm approved Star Wars show, and that's the show. I think that we, Jedi Council, has been one of the leading Star Wars voices for the last 5 years. So I was confused, and this is and I want to make it clear that there's a different branch that between like the marketing. Like there was a writer, freelance writer from Collider that was brought, and then she brought another writer from Collider. Jedi Council was not invited at all. So reached out, said, "Hey, we really would like to promote it. We'd like to talk about it." People who don't do any views on YouTube or
So
very small sites yesterday.
Yes to what I said. You asked to go and they said no.
Well, originally I did not. There was just no invite that came for all the media, and then I just followed up once and said, "Hey, so yes, but
Did you get a response?
No." And so then I said, I'm not following up again. But I also said that I just don't. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go as a fan, and I'm going to enjoy it, and I want to go. But I'm not going to promote it anymore. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm thinking more business sense than anything else too. If you know that there's all these shows out there, and like the sites are out there, why wouldn't you invite?
You're not
Jedi
thinking
Council?
in business sense, though.
I am though, because there's another reason. I don't want to report on other people's reports. I don't want to say like, well, Jermaine Lucier, who goes to fucking everything, he reported on this, so I'm going to go off his report.
If you had been invited and you...
Guess what? I'm not. I've been busting my fucking ass being a Star Wars fan for 5 fucking years.
I feel
on
the
show.
same way about...
I've been called shill. I get screamed at. You know. So let this one, let me be a fucking shill for this one. Let me go and experience this fucking thing, and maybe I don't even like it, but I wanted to go.
I completely agree.
I wanted to go, and the fact that it wasn't even, it would have been a thing. You know what? I would have still covered it if they wrote back and we said, "We're sorry we missed you on this one. Our spots are all full at the moment. Thank you for promoting us in general."
Response.
No response. And it's like, fuck off.
So as you can see, a bit of a tantrum, right? He went on a tantrum. It's not the first time he's done it. Let's see who else has been talking about this. Oh, look. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers.
So this video has been taken down from the YouTube channel. Shout out to Film Gob. I still don't know if Film Gob hates me because I shit on the DCEU all the time, and I know Film Gob loves the DCEU, and I hate Zack Snyder's vision, but whatever. I love Film Gob. One of these days, Film Gob's gonna do something and make a video about me. I know it.
But it is not this day.
I know it's gonna happen, Film Gob.
And we know the press that gets invited, they all, if the blue milk tasted like piss, they'd still say it was fantastic. because that's what you got to do. The access media, you know, that's what's going on there. So this was broken by the Film Gob on Twitter. Look, shout out to the Film Gob. People aren't showing him any respect here. Go check him out. And look, there is a bit of bad blood between those two, between the Gob and the Harloff. I'm not going to question that.
At no point have I ever used anything remotely close to I've been busting my ass being a fan. That mentality is so indicative of what Disney has done to Star Wars. You have to actually earn your fandom with Disney. You have to earn it by kissing their ass. And the moment he doesn't get press passes, you see his true feelings come out. This is what Disney has done to Star Wars. If you are willing to praise their garbage, you are going to most likely benefit from being at press junkets and getting into big events.
Now here's the second part of Kristian Harloff's rant. This is when the producer gets involved. Because if you remember when IGN were interviewing the voice actor for, the Admiral Akbar voice actor, Tom Kane, remember that?
I'm like, who's this Holdo woman? Nobody knows this. No one's invested in that. Who is she? Why is she saving the fleet? If anyone's going to save the fleet, it'd be... Oh, no.
All right, let's so...
So you had Max Scoville of IGN, quick to, end that discussion right there. And this is similar because you've got the Collider producer coming in and saying, hey, you're going to cover this, but I'll let you watch it.
They see Collider,
yes,
and they go, "Oh, it's everything."
Correct.
So everything that
they already invited Collider.
Well, they think right. They think everything that Christina and Haley will see is that they will now go on Jedi Council and do it, and that's not how it works.
Part of doing your job
and
is
talk about it. Yeah, but I'm going to be stubborn and say I don't want to.
Okay.
You're going to though.
What's that?
You're going to.
I don't want to.
No, because it's our coverage. Haley's got a lot of really good interviews with Imagineers. That she's going to be posting.
So first of all, I don't want you to do that on the air. You can call me in afterwards.
No.
You know what? So then someone else hosts the show today. You don't have. It's the second time you've done this. The first time you've done this, you burst in the door. Screamed at us because we played the YouTube video and we didn't know it. That was the first time.
I went in to let you know that you have been taken off the air already.
I know, but you screamed at us for it.
I didn't scream.
You didn't. Roxy, did he yell at us?
I said, "Hey, you were off the air."
Roxy, did he yell at us?
There's a clip. It's pretty.
The answer is yes.
You yelled at us, and you embarrassed us in front of Kate Mulligan, who was sitting here too. If you want to do this on the air, I'll do it on the air. I would much rather
you did. You started this on the air. You brought. You started the show by saying you're not going to talk about it on Jedi Council, which is your show.
Okay.
But you're not the producer of it, and
I am actually.
You're actually not.
Yes, I am. I'm actually. That was the deal I made with Fernandez. I'm also
actually no,
just the same way you didn't know. The same way you didn't know that I was the fucking head of development at one point, and head of content. Or you're like, oh, I think you're just head of development. I walk into Fernandez. I go, can you clear it up? Content and development, to which now is not the case. You are, and I get it. But first of all, if you want to do this on the air, we do it on the air.
Yeah.
But I am absolutely not talking about it today. You can have Roka host it. How about that?
I mean, if you don't want to host the show because
I don't want to.
I'm so sorry you didn't get to go last night.
You're welcome. See, you can if you want to do this again. We can do it all the only because you had the same thing, and what people also don't realize with you, you act hot-headed. You act hot-headed all the time.
You don't
you
want to
scream and yell at people,
content.
but you want to do it now. We can do it now.
You don't want to cover Collider's content, is what you're just saying on Collider Live. The show's called Collider Live. It's not the Kristian Harloff show. It's called Collider Live, and it's called Collider Jedi Council. And there's a lot of really good coverage.
Well, maybe we should change that. Maybe we'll change that, and we'll have other conversations.
Really good coverage that Collider's doing from Galaxy's Edge, and you're not going to want to cover it at all. That's just really bizarre to me.
Okay, good. There's blue milk and there's people dressed in costumes. That's it. All right, moving on. Why do that on the air?
Why would you start this on the air?
Because you can have a conversation with me afterwards and say to me, hey, I wish you wouldn't have done that. But instead, you want to come on the same way because I didn't call you out when you came in here, embarrassed us in front of Kate Mulligan when she's sitting there and felt like, oh my God, is this the way they do business? That was embarrassing when you ran in here the other day. And I didn't even say it. I didn't mention it. I didn't talk about it. But you do that because you knew.
that we got a strike on the channel.
But how do we? But so tell the producer. We didn't know that. We had no idea that just the audio was going to do that.
Moving on, I'm looking forward to hearing you guys talk about Galaxy's Edge and all of Collider's really good content today.
So you can host it. You can host the show. Well,
no, you can just do what we ask you to do.
I'm looking forward to you hosting that show.
Eventually.
you know, there were things that happened last week that we should probably talk about right off the bat here.
Let's do it.
There was not one person from this company that asked me to say anything, or nor was I reprimanded for anything that happened last week, nor was anyone else reprimanded for anything that happened last week. Conversations are conversations, and hashtag that's a show. That's what happens on this thing. I still stand by that. I think that Jedi Council should have been invited to the parks, right? It was more about just Jedi Council in general be represented, because the funny thing is I couldn't even gone on that Wednesday. Yeah. I couldn't even gone. So Ken Knapsack or Emma, or to be honest, even maybe coordinating that Haley could have went. So
right, how many times have they had, you know, early access to Marvel films, Star Wars films? They've been there, they've been covering it. So what, you missed out on this one occasion? It's always the next time, right? It's a theme park. And, well, maybe this is why. I don't know, look at this.
Star Wars Galaxy's Edge merchandise and memorabilia being resold on eBay for sizable profits. And who would be selling this stuff? Who would be selling this stuff? Some of the items that are set to go for the highest prices are the most exclusive items, such as those given out to media and invited guests during press previews.
Is he missing out on some sweet swag? Some chance to make some money on eBay? I don't know. But he's got some defenders as well. You know, there's people coming to Kristian's defense. Let's see one of them.
Where Kristian Harloff, I guess, blew up last week because he wasn't able to go to Galaxy's Edge. They decided to send Haley and some other writer for Collider to go cover Galaxy's Edge. He admits it on air. I'm butthurt about it. And I am not covering it on Jedi Council. And I'm like, fuck yeah, Kristian. You tell them motherfuckers. I 1,050% defend Kristian Harloff because Kristian Harloff is correct. He is in the right here. I don't give two shit about Galaxy's Edge, okay? I live near Orlando, so of course when it opens, I'm gonna go. I don't give two shit about Galaxy's Edge. Of course when it opens, I'm gonna go. And what do? They give the invite to fucking Haley. No offense to Haley, but I don't give a fuck what she thinks about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
And all these fucking YouTube channels like Film Gob and all these other fucking assholes.
But why don't you let me know in the comments below what you think about all this? Click that like button, share, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. But until next time, I'm Shayker, and I will catch you later.